Welcome back to the channel, folks. I am Matt. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we're going to check out the Vici Pod Kit by Voopoo. Now, the Vicis we've seen in the past were all AIOs. They had interchangeable coils, more airflow, bigger devices. This is a pod system device that's made for MTL and has a couple of pretty cool features. Let's go ahead and dive into it. This is what your packaging is going to look like. So inside you will of course have your device with a pod pre-installed. You'll then get a USB-C charging cable and a user manual. So here is the device, built-in 800 milliamp hour battery. You got this panel right here, and if you look on their website, there's like multiple layers to that panel. It actually looks really, really cool. Not a fingerprint magnet whatsoever. The rest of the body here is made out of zinc alloy. It says Gene Chip down there, Vici right there, and right here you have an airflow control switch. So you can move your airflow all the way up. Right there, it's at your tightest, or all the way down right there, it's at your loosest. It's a little bit tight and it kind of has a little bit of stickiness. I noticed on my other one it got smoother over time, but I would rather that have a stronger resistance than, a weak one where it accidentally moves on its own. On that side it says Voopoo. On the bottom there is your USB-C charging port. Also on this side you have another little tiny airflow inlet. So let's go ahead and take our pod out, and we need to pull this sticker off here. Now these pods do hold 2 mLs of liquid. The resistance on the coil is 0.8 ohms. So on the bottom there you have 2 contacts, your airflow. Now if you look on their website, they do have a diagram of how the airflow works. It's supposed to be more leak resistant. And I have noticed on my other one, I haven't had any condensation issues. Up top here is your mouthpiece, kind of that duckbill style mouthpiece. And then you have a side fill port right here. So you just open it up like so. Big fill port hole, and let's fill it on up. Then push the plug back in, and there's what the inside of the device looks like. You have your draw activation tube and 2 contacts, and you could put the pod in either way. Either way works fine and the airflow stays the same. Just clicks into place like so. Oh, notice too, right there is a light indicator. You'll see it blink when you put your pod in. And that light also turns on when you puff it. If you're above 60%, it'll be green. 20 to 60%, it's blue. And under 20%, it's red. Another cool thing about this is it does have a constant output. So you get the same vape quality throughout the whole life of the battery. With this 0.8 ohm, you're getting a consistent 15 watts. So there is a chip in here that's regulating that. And there's a look at it in the hand. Better build quality than most pod systems of this size, for sure. Feels nice, feels solid. A little bit heavier than the Caliburn G, which is made out of aluminum. There's what those two look like. And I think both have the same size battery, 800 milliamp hours. And this one's a little bit smaller, but it's a little bit thicker. Not by much, though. There's a look at the mouthpieces together. And here's the black one I've been using. This one's a carbon fiber. All right, guys, that is it for the up close. Let's go ahead, go up top, vape these, and talk about them a little more. All right, here is the Vici pod system. I'm going to start out with the airflow wide open. I have 12 milligram in here, and it's just draw activation, remember. Let's go ahead and vape it. Wide open. It's a loose, medium to loose MTL draw. I would say more on the loose end when it's wide open. Doesn't get as wide open as some of the others, though. Very, very nice. Now, what I like to do is close it about halfway, 2/3 of the way. Let's go ahead and vape it like that. I get a nice medium MTL satisfying draw. Now, you can close the airflow control all the way, and then you're just using the airflow from this little pin-sized hole on the other side. Let's vape it like that. And then you get a very tight MTL draw. So the AFC works really, really well. Even compared to the Caliburn G, which I use a lot, you can get a tighter draw with this than with the Caliburn G. Yeah, by quite a bit. So really, really nice AFC system. You know, going into cons, it is a little bit sticky, but like I said, I would rather it be, you know, tight like this and harder to move than too easy to move. As far as other cons go, you know, I do wish I had a top fill port. You didn't have to pull the pod out and fill it on the side. Would have been nice if it was on the top. Also, another subjective con for me, you know, and everyone's different, but I do wish it had replaceable coils as opposed to having to replace the whole pod. And it only comes with one pod, which is kind of a con. But I'm assuming, I don't know the exact price of this yet. I'm assuming this is going to be priced pretty aggressively, especially because it only has one pod. But if you're going to buy this, I would definitely suggest buying packs of pods with it. Going into pros, some of the best build quality I've seen on a little pod system like this. It feels solid, feels really nice in the hand, and I think it looks really cool. Vape quality is great. It competes well with the Caliburn G. I could use either of these systems no problem and wouldn't notice any drop off in flavor. The mouthpiece is actually pretty comfortable because it's thin. It is more comfortable than the Caliburn G's mouthpiece, so I like that as well. USB-C is a plus. I like the way they incorporated the light indicator into where the gene chip is. It doesn't have a button, but the draw activation works really, really nicely. And 800 milliamp hour battery, regulated wattage. I mean, you can't change the wattage, but it is regulated at 15 watts throughout the whole vape with the 0.8 ohm. And it's still pretty damn small. I mean, it feels smaller in the hand than the Caliburn G does, even though the Caliburn G is a little bit lighter. So I think they did great with this one. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty popular. It'll be interesting to see if they come out with other pods for it as well, besides just the 0.8s. But I do wish, like I said, that it did have replaceable coils instead of replaceable pods. Unfortunately, not with this one. But if you're okay with that, I could definitely give it 2 thumbs up. It competes with the best pod systems on the market right now. So it is going to come in multiple different color varieties. Let's end it there, folks. That about wraps it up. Until next time, thanks for watching. Suck my mod.